आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we bring you a podcast series on STEM popularization, science, technology, engineering, mathematics and medicine, supported and catalyzed by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. This program is produced by Media for Community Foundation. Creative content and technical support is given by Purvasha Banerjee and Shushanto Das.
एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़, की आवाज़, की आवाज़।
Indian Statistical Institute is a public university which is recognized as an institute of national importance. It grew out of the statistical laboratory set up by Prashanto Chandra Mohanlanobish in Presidency College, Kolkata. Established in 1931, this unique institution of India is one of the oldest institutions focused on statistics. Primary activities of ISI are research and training of statistics, development of theoretical statistics, and its applications in various natural and social sciences. We welcome Dr. Jayant Jha to this episode. Sir is an assistant professor of statistics in Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. Dr. Jha shares about his work and its application.
I am an assistant professor in statistics at Indian Statistical Institute. I did my PhD in statistics from here only. After that, I worked in pharma sector in a company named Novartis for 2 years in Hyderabad. And after that, I worked as a postdoctoral fellow in Aix-Marseille University, France, where I worked on some problems related to inference for brain network models. Yeah, so I will start with an example. So basically, suppose a patient has got epilepsy. The patient goes to a doctor. What doctor does is that they do some kind of MRI, or there is another measurement called EEG measurements. They take on the patients. And on the basis of that, they want to identify which area of the brain is generating epilepsy. So in our brain, there are lots of neurons and lots of brain regions which are connected with each other. Now, whenever there is a pathology of a brain, so basically whenever a brain gets some kind of problem, or even a simpler case where the brain is aging, so those connections between different regions of the brain change, and these kind of things can be identified by using the signals of the brain. So you put some kind of electrodes on the brain and they can measure what signals they are generating during these pathology, aging, or even simpler, whenever you are watching TV or playing computer games. There also they can capture these kind of activities. So right now, the idea is that a patient goes to a doctor. The doctor sees what kind of signals they are getting from the patient. And on the basis of that, the doctor identifies which brain regions are responsible for the pathologies. However, with the advancement of computational techniques and lots of data which we have these days, now we can go a step further, where what we can do, we can have some kind of mathematical models which are relevant for those particular diseases or whatever activity you are trying to capture. So these kind of models have been developed in last 15-20 years. So what we had was that we had these models and we had these signals which were captured using electrodes on the brain or whatever MRI kind of things. In my work, the idea is to merge both the things. So basically, we will take signals from a patient's brain, and then we have the mathematical model. What the mathematical model can tell us is that which region is generating epilepsy. So basically, before this, the doctors used to do these things a bit heuristically, that they will get an idea that maybe these regions are generating epilepsy. Now what we can do, we can exactly find which regions are generating epilepsy along with the uncertainty. So if our analysis says that a particular region has a very high probability of being epileptogenic, so these things can be captured by our model. So how much important those regions could be. So this is I would say, a state of an art technique which we developed. So basically, given the patient's data, we can identify which region is affecting a particular disease, or even simpler case, whenever a patient is watching TV, which region are getting activated in the brain. So these kind of things can be captured using our methodology.
Professor Jha focuses on the collaborations that help move the research process forward.
So my postdoc project, where I started using these things, it was funded by Human Brain Project, which is kind of an umbrella organization which is funded by the, I would say, Department of Science and Technology kind of thing in EU. So they have funded this Human Brain Project to identify the whole thing. So there are different parts of the project. This was one of the part. And in my project, there were around 7-8 people involved, out of which 2 were Indians, and another associated scientist was also an Indian. But the lead was taken by the European people because it was a European project. So for example, I will again start with epilepsy thing. So right now, 65 million people worldwide are affected by epilepsy. And also there are various other brain diseases. So very simple thing, like with age, slowly you start forgetting things. There are Alzheimer, schizophrenia, multiple neurological diseases are there. And people are affected by these diseases. But because brain is pretty complex as compared to other organs in the body, and it doesn't show symptoms. So right now also we see many of the neurological problems are ignored by the people. But once we have this kind of understanding of the brain, we can actually identify like what is happening inside the brain and how to treat them. So there are, right now also we have some technologies to treat neurological disorder, but those technologies are very much based on empirical data. There is not proper understanding of the brain which is going on. We just employ the data in this way that a particular patient is given a particular medicine. If that medicine helps the patient, then people believe that maybe that medicine is working well. But still, what is happening inside the brain, that is still not clear. So whatever we are doing here, if it is scaled up, or if we can apply similar techniques to in general brain network models for different things, we can identify what is happening inside the brain. We can treat the patients. It is applicable for India as well as abroad. So it is in general very good for humanity, and I would say it could revolutionize the treatments for neurological problems, which is currently we are lacking.
Sir talks about the future direction of his research work.
Not only India is contributing. So basically, yeah, this is true that this project was funded by European Union and all. But still, in Indian hospitals, we have the data collected for different patients that anyways we are doing. And also even in this particular project, which is funded by EU, we have various Indian scientists also involved, either in one disease or some other disease. So they are also learning the techniques, which they can basically apply to Indian patients, which we have not done yet. So these kind of things can always be done here.
He also speaks about the research environment in India.
So the idea behind solving this problem is applying advanced statistical techniques to solve this complex problem, modeling data to identify where in the brain the activity is happening. But the whole idea is, or what we do in statistics is that given data, we try to identify the phenomena. Now, India, so especially Indian Statistical Institute, is one of the pioneers of Bayesian inference in many fields. So basically, whatever tools we are using to solve this particular problem is based on a statistical area called Bayesian inference. And Indian Statistical Institute has done considerable advancements in this kind of tool in terms of theory, application, as well as computational. Therefore, we can use the theoretical and computational advancements we have made in the area of Bayesian inference, which we have done in India, to identify the parameters of the model better, or equivalently to treat the patients in a much better way.
We feel enriched to listen to Professor Jha in this episode where he shares about his research.